Jsme na festivalu Akademia Filmu Olomouc, jsme tady v baru a odchytli jsme tady Robina Sipa, což je jeden z největších tvůrců full dom pořadů vůbec a položíme mu pár otázek. Hi Robin. I would like to ask you a few questions. The first one is, what would you recommend to the young creators of full dome shows? What thing you would recommend? What thing you would suggest them?
If they like to get into this industry, well, I would recommend to start small, like making little clips yourself for like full dome festivals, like the Jena Full Dome Festival, and put all your effort in a small amount of time, and try to excel in that.
Great. Okay. Thank you. The second question is, which one of your full dome shows is the one, let's say, the closest to your heart?
Oh, that is probably natural selection, because I really like Charles Darwin, and I think the mechanism of natural selection is very fascinating. And in this show you also feel this division between religion and science, and every one of us has gone through that during their life, that they were probably raised religious and then came with some questions when they were older, and that's a little bit in this show as well, because Darwin is slowly losing his religion, but even though we don't emphasize it, but it's just beautiful that we are all connected in a tree of life. Everything that ever lived is connected in some sort of a handshake, from mother to child. We're all connected to the last common ancestor of all life on Earth. So that show is nearest to my heart. Yeah.
Okay, great, thank you. I would also like to ask you, again, to the young creators, to people who want to create their first full dome show, or who already created their first full dome show, what do you think is the common mistake these young creators make? What do they, or what should they like avoid?
Oh, well, technically it's by moving the camera too fast, and also the mistake that I also make is to put too much stuff in the show. Just focus on something unique and a few sets, and make your show around that, and not put too many characters in there, because you make it very difficult for yourself. Try to focus on details and make these details very nice, but you don't need to have a lot of them.
Okay.
So what you do is you should make very nice and very detailed, and do good research, how things look, how things behave, and science research, but also how things appear in the world. You know, if a plane flies, it should have a vapor trail behind it if it had a certain altitude, but it should not have a vapor trail when it takes off. So these details, you can just look at videos, and that has to be, the basics have to be right. Otherwise people don't believe you.
Yeah, okay, that's maybe more for the technical way, but what about the way of thinking?
So what they should avoid.
Or what mistakes do you think they often make?
To put too much narration in there, because a full dome show is not a science lecture. So my advice is to put a minimum amount of words in it. Think of music first, think of visuals first, and almost let the words come later. So start with a storyboard. It's not very conventional, but start with a storyboard, and even look for the music, and then fill in the words. And then don't say too much. You know, if you see something on the screen, you don't have to say it, because it's already there.
Yeah.
And try to get down to 50% of narration and 50% of visuals, because people need to process things. People need to enjoy your show. It's not a lecture like you're used to at university. That's a common mistake, to put too much narration in there.
Great. And what about big producers? Do you think they also make any mistakes, common mistakes?
Well, big producers, some of them don't put enough science in there. So if you want your show to do well, there should be some science in it, because planetariums, after all, want to show science. But I don't think there's any big mistakes by the producers. No, but sometimes they focus too much on one subject, like one satellite or one the infrared telescopes on Mauna Kea, whereas there's a lot of telescopes and a lot of infrared telescopes all over the world, but it also has to do with who's funding the show. So they might make the mistake of looking too much at the funding instead of at the film itself.
I see. Okay, well, maybe some question out of topic. How do you like Czech Republic? How do you like Brno?
It's wonderful. I've been in Eastern Europe when I was still at school, and it looks so different today. Colorful, and the people are colorful as well, and it used to be different what I remember. So I'd like to come back for a holiday. I really love the people. They're very friendly. And there's you have a lot of history here, a lot of culture.
Okay, thank you very much. And the last question is, what do you think a good or a successful scientist should eat or drink?
What they should eat or drink? Well, depends who you ask. I would say they should drink Heineken beer, but no, that's good scientists.
Now it's product placement.
What they should eat or drink? No, I think they just drink a lot of water. They drink a lot of water. But no, I'm sorry, no, I can't recommend anything.
And something to eat? You can say just one particular thing or anything that comes first to your mind?
Anything comes first to my mind. I would say just like a marathon runner, eat a lot of macaroni, which is good for endurance.
Okay, so pasta basically.
Pasta.